The fatal blow is never delivered by a stranger's hand, but by one you've invited to share your bread. Let that sink in. We are genetically programmed, hardwired by evolution to fear the obvious threat. The storm raging outside our window, the declared enemy shouting at our gates. Our adrenaline spikes, our senses heighten. This is the danger we understand. But the philosophers who truly dissected the nature of power, who peered into the machinery of human ambition, understood a far more perilous game was being played in the quiet rooms, not the loud battlefields. The real danger isn't the adversary you barricade the door against. It's the one you've already welcomed inside for dinner, the one for whom you lowered the drawbridge and exposed the soft heart of your castle. Most people wait for the wound to appear, for the blood to spill, before they finally see the weapon. Today, you won't be one of those people. This isn't about setting healthy boundaries or practicing self-care. That is well-meaning, surface-level advice for those who wish to rearrange the furniture on a sinking ship. This is about true survival, about developing the perceptual acuity to perform a psychological X-ray on the people in your orbit long before their hidden intentions metastasize into your ruin. Betrayal is not a sudden event. It is a conclusion you failed to read in the early chapters. By the end of our time together, you will possess a new lens. You will know the 3 hidden profiles of the false ally. You will master a silent, undetectable method to test the very foundation of their loyalty. You will learn how to strategically neutralize the threat without ever raising your voice or declaring a war you don't need to fight. First, we must ground ourselves in the unsettling why. When someone you've supported, celebrated, and confided in seems to take a quiet, secret pleasure in your stumbles, your instinct is to ask the heartbreaking question, what did I do wrong? Let me be clear. That is your first and most critical error. You are viewing the world through a comforting lens of morality, of assumed reciprocity, of right and wrong. The strategic mind, however, sees a colder, more accurate physics of human nature. For many people, whether they admit it or not, your progress feels like their personal deficit, your ascent, your joy, your success. It casts a longer shadow over the ground where they stand. That shadow breeds a quiet, corrosive, and deeply dangerous emotion, envy. Not the loud, sputtering anger you can confront, but a silent envy that festers in the dark. It is the most dangerous emotion in the human spectrum precisely because it whispers. It doesn't scream. They do not act from a place of passionate hatred. Their actions are born from a cold, clinical calculus of self-interest. In their story, you are not a person to be loved. You are either an obstacle to be removed or a stepping stone to be used. Understanding this arithmetic is the foundation of everything that follows. So with this sobering perspective, how do you move from theory to practice? How do you identify these players before the trap is sprung, before you feel the steel? You must learn to recognize the 3 distinct faces of the concealed adversary. You cannot defend against a threat. You cannot name and categorize. Archetype 1, the mirror. This is the perpetual yes person, the flatterer who has made an art form of reflection. They mirror your every opinion back to you with amplified agreement. Their laughter at your jokes is a beat too long, a decibel too loud. Their praise is often lavished on accomplishments you haven't fully earned yet, on potential they insist they see in you. It feels like warm, unwavering validation, but it is, in truth, a gilded cage for your critical judgment. A genuine companion, a true ally, will risk your temporary displeasure to tell you a hard truth. They care more about your survival than the comfort of your ego. The mirror does the opposite. They feed your ego, calorie by calorie, specifically to blind your perception and soften your discernment. Their loyalty is not to you, the individual, but to your current position, your status, your utility. The moment that status shifts, the moment your crown appears to tarnish, their reflection will shatter instantly, and you will see the empty space where a person was supposed to be. Archetype 2, the Vortex. They are a perpetual swirling crisis, a drama that never finds a final act. Their life is a series of emergencies, financial, romantic, professional. And you have been cast in the role of their designated rescuer, their eternal savior. You invest your most precious resources, your time, your emotional reserves, your mental energy, into fixing their endless series of self-created emergencies. This shared trauma bonding, the cycle of rescue, creates a powerful and false sense of deep connection. You tell yourself, we've been through so much together, but I want you to conduct a dark, revealing experiment. The next time you face a genuine trouble, when you are the one in need of a listening ear or a steady hand, observe them with detached clarity. Where is the vortex? Suddenly, they are unavailable. Their phone goes unanswered. Or more subtly, they listen for just 2 minutes before expertly pivoting the conversation back to their own never-ending theater. The truth is laid bare. They cannot hold space for your pain because your struggle does not serve their narrative. They are drowning, and their instinct is not to learn to swim, but to pull you under just so they can use your body as a momentary foothold. Archetype 3, the alchemist. This is the most insidious and dangerous of the three. They are not crude or obvious. They are artists of plausible deniability. The alchemist deals in subtle poisons, specializing in the dark art of transforming your strengths into perceived weaknesses. A true saboteur does not waste energy trying to break your armor head on. They spend their time convincing you, piece by piece, to remove it yourself. Their weapon of choice is the backhanded compliment, delivered with a smile. You handled that presentation so well. I'm genuinely surprised considering how tired you've seemed lately. Did you catch it? Praise wrapped around a seed of doubt. Their second weapon is the whispered concern, disguised as loyalty. I'm only telling you this because I care, but people are starting to talk about how John is always at the bar. They are not sharing information. They are strategically leaking poison to reshape your reputation and your standing within the tribe. They are sculptors of perception, chipping away at your social stature. One innocent comment, one raised eyebrow at a time. When confronted, they master the art of gaslighting. You're being so sensitive. I was just joking. I'm on your side. This creates the fog of war, and in that fog, they operate with impunity. Now you have the profiles. You sit with this information and you sense a potential threat in your own circle. A cold suspicion settles in your stomach. What is your next move? Do you immediately confront them? Do you unleash your anger and accusations? Absolutely not. That is the amateur's response, the reaction of raw emotion. Remember, emotion is the sworn enemy of strategy. Your goal now is not drama, but intelligence. You must gather incontrovertible proof, not for them, but for your own clarity. Here are 3 psychological stress tests, silent and surgical, designed to reveal the fracture in their facade without you ever uttering a single accusation. Test 1, the success probe. Conventional wisdom tells us we test our friends with our pain, with our hardship. This is a profound mistake. Pity is a cheap currency. Anyone can offer a sympathetic nod when you're down. In fact, seeing you in a diminished state often makes the false ally feel superior, reinforcing their position. If you want to see the true face behind the mask, share a significant, unambiguous victory. Announce a major promotion, a financial windfall, a profound personal joy like finding the love of your life. Then you must become a master observer. Do not listen to their words. Watch their eyes. In the first split second before their social programming can snap the mask back into place, you might see the telltale flicker, a flash of coldness, a tightening around the lips, a deadness in the gaze. Then the performance begins. Oh my God, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. But the energy is off. The tone is high-pitched, forced. Very often, this is quickly followed by a minimizing qualifier, a subtle puncture to your balloon of joy. That's fantastic. But wow, the taxes on that are going to be brutal, huh? Or, he seems great. I just hope he's nothing like your ex. If they cannot genuinely, wholly abide your light, it is because they have grown accustomed to and comfortable in your shadow. Test 2. The silence protocol. False allies are information traders. Your personal details, your fears, your hopes, your plans. This is the currency they traffic in. Gossip and insider knowledge give them leverage and a sense of control. Your move is simple. Stop the supply. Begin a policy of polite opacity. Become pleasantly vague. When they ask, how's that big project going? You reply, it's moving along. Thanks. How are things with your partner? All good, steady. Be present, be courteous, but become a closed book. A real, secure connection can weather periods of quiet. There is comfort in the silence. A transactional, parasitic connection will react violently to this silence. They will grow agitated. They will pry. They will push. They will try to provoke you into opening up. They may even attempt to bait you with a fake secret of their own, trying to trigger a reciprocal exchange. I'll tell you what's going on with me if you tell me what's going on with you. This is a transaction, not a bond. If they react with anger or guilt tripping, you're being so weird lately. Don't you trust me? Understand this. You have just cut off their supply line, and a parasite panics when its host stops providing nutrients. Test 3, the boundary audit. This is the simplest and most brutally effective test of all. Say no to a small, reasonable, low-stakes request. They ask for a minor favor, for a slice of your time, for a small loan. Your response is a polite, firm, and unemotional decline. I can't do that this time, I'm afraid. I'm not available to help with that. Now observe the seismic shift in their demeanor. A healthy, respectful dynamic is built on mutual autonomy and can easily withstand a no. A parasitic, utility-based relationship, however, will treat a no as a fundamental breach of contract, a personal attack. Watch for the emergence of guilt, passive aggression, or sudden coldness. After everything I've done for you, I thought we were closer than that. This is emotional blackmail, the signature of a transactional arrangement. If the relationship cannot survive a simple, polite boundary, it was never a relationship at all. It was a usage agreement, and you have just politely declined the terms. The evidence is now in. The tests have been run, and the results are clear. The person you trusted, invested in, and believed in has been revealed as a strategic actor in the story of your life. This realization carries a unique and profound pain. It creates a primal wound. Your instinct, the part of you that craves harmony and connection, will rush in to rationalize. You will make excuses for them. Maybe they're just stressed at work. Maybe I'm misinterpreting everything. Recognize this voice for what it is. It is the very weakness they have been exploiting. This is the denial that leads to catastrophic ruin. You must now perform the most critical exchange of your life. You must trade raw emotion for clear, cold observation. You do not have to hate them. In fact, you must consciously choose not to. Hate is a bond, a chain that keeps you emotionally tethered to them. Your goal is not passion, but clinical, surgical detachment. See them for what they are. A strategic player operating within their own self-interest. Once you truly accept this, you gain an immense power. You stop expecting loyalty from a mercenary. You stop looking for fresh water in a poisoned well. So with this clarity, what is the tactical, real-world response? Do you dramatically burn the bridge? Do you ghost them or launch a public campaign against them? Never. That is the territory of the amateur, and it is fraught with peril. It creates a visible, motivated enemy and a narrative you can no longer control. They will paint you as unstable, paranoid, aggressive. You lose the social battle before it even begins. The advanced method, the strategic protocol, is far more elegant, quiet, and effective. Tactic 1. Become uninteresting. The gray rock method. These individuals crave your emotional energy. Whether it is the fuel of your adoration or the drama of your conflict, they need a reaction to feel powerful and in control. Your strategy is to starve them. Become a gray, smooth, utterly uninteresting rock. When they attempt to provoke you with a subtle insult, do not get angry. Do not explain. Simply nod and offer a bland, interesting perspective, or maybe so, and then change the subject or look it away. When they lay on the flattery, do not light up with a smile. Offer a muted thank you and move on. You provide no emotional spike, no rewarding friction. This terrifies and ultimately bores them. Without the fuel of your reaction, their game has no engine. They will eventually, inevitably, turn their attention to a more reactive, more rewarding target. You haven't made an enemy. You have simply made yourself useless to their psychology. And in this game, being useless to a predator is the ultimate safety. Tactic 2. Maintain proximity. Control access. You've heard the saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. This is not a cliché. It is a principle of intelligence gathering. If you cut them off completely, you lose all visibility. You have no idea what they are saying about you, what narratives they are spinning, what their next move might be. Instead, keep them at a carefully measured arm's length, close enough that you can see their hands, far enough that their knife cannot reach you. Maintain the superficial illusion of the old friendship. Smile, shake hands, attend the group lunch, but the inner dynamic has completely inverted. You are now the operative, the double agent in your own life. You can even use this position to feed them controlled, benign pieces of misinformation, plans you don't intend to follow, worries you don't actually have, and then observe where that information surfaces. If you tell only this person that you're considering leaving your job and 3 days later your boss asks if you're unhappy, you have just received priceless confirmation. You have used them as a tracer bullet. This requires immense emotional discipline to look into the eyes of a Judas and break bread with him, knowing exactly who he is. It is cold, yes, but the alternative is walking blindfolded. Tactic 3. The reflective shield. When the alchemist attempts their subtle sabotage, your instinct will be to defend yourself. Resist it. Defense is weakness. It means their strike landed. Instead, you reflect. You turn the spotlight back onto them. If they say, "You seem really overwhelmed lately. Are you sure you can handle this project?" Do not say, "I'm fine. I can handle it." That is defensive and grants their premise power. Instead, pause. Hold a calm, curious gaze for 3 full seconds of uncomfortable silence. Then ask with genuine curiosity, what makes you say that? Force them to explain their own aggression, to justify the shadow they just tried to cast. They will splutter, "Oh, I'm concerned about you." You simply reply, "I appreciate the concern. I'm focused and on track." End of conversation. You have signaled without a single accusation that you see the game being played. You have shown them that their bullets are not penetrating. They are simply bouncing off a mirror. A fake friend panics when they realize you are no longer playing by the script of polite society, but by the script of unflinching reality. Now you have done the hard work. You have identified the rot, applied the tests, and implemented the neutralization protocol. You have cleared the decay from your social garden. And now you may feel a void, a space where a friend was supposed to be. Let me tell you something. That feeling is not loss. It is clarity. That space was not occupied by a friend. It was occupied by an active, draining illusion. Good. This void is your new foundation. From this empty, clean space, you must now rebuild your entire social architecture with ruthless intentionality. You must create a hierarchy, a tiered system for human connection. Tier 1, strategic partners. These are relationships of mutual clear benefit. Colleagues, business associates, people with whom your goals currently align. Interact with them with integrity and professionalism. Trade favors, collaborate, build alliances, but never ever mistake a strategic partnership for a sacred bond. Do not give them the keys to your inner castle. They are allies of circumstance, and if the circumstances change, the alliance may logically end. Accept this with grace, not grief. Tier 2, casual companions. These are for shared enjoyment, for pleasant distraction, for light camaraderie. The drinking buddy, the gym partner, the neighbor you have barbecues with. Enjoy their company. Savor the laughter and the casual moments, but know their depth and honor it by not burdening them with your core struggles. Do not expect them to storm the trenches with you. They are fair-weather friends, and that is perfectly okay. As long as you see them clearly and do not curse them for not being something they never promised to be. Tier 3, the inner council. These individuals are exceedingly, profoundly rare. You may find 1 or 2 in an entire lifetime. They are not found. They are proven, forged and revealed in the fires of time and genuine adversity. They are the ones who tell you the brutal, ugly truth to your face. Not to hurt you, but because they care more about your growth than your comfort. They are the ones who, behind your back, will defend your character fiercely. How do you find them? You cannot. You can only test everyone with time, with shared struggle, with fortune's arbitrary tests. When you find a person of this caliber, you protect that bond with your life. You offer a loyalty that is absolute, because in a world filled with plastic, authentic gold is heavy, valuable, and worth everything. Your power, your true sovereignty, does not grow from the size of your entourage, the noise of your crowd. It grows from the strength of your autonomy, your ability to stand, think, and act alone. The lion walks alone because it can. The sheep huddle in the flock precisely because they are afraid. Which one are you choosing to be? There is one final uncomfortable mirror we must examine. That is the one you face each morning. We have spent all this time analyzing them. The mirror, the vortex, the alchemist. But the most dangerous deceiver of all is not across the table from you. It is the one inside you. Why did the false ally find such fertile ground in your life? Why were you so receptive to the flatterer's empty praise? Was there a hunger in your ego? A void that craved that external validation? Why did you tolerate the disrespect of the saboteur for so long? Was your own sense of self-worth quietly low, making their subtle barbs feel familiar, even deserved? Why did you keep the crisis addict around, playing the eternal savior? Did you need to feel needed, to feel valuable through their dependency? The false friend is a parasite, yes, but a parasite cannot attach to a truly healthy, intact, and whole host. They attach to your unseen wounds. If you want to become truly untouchable, if you want to master this game in its highest form, you must heal the parts of you that were thirsty for their particular brand of poison. You must kill the needy, desperate hunger for external validation. If you do not need their praise, the mirror has nothing to reflect. If you do not fear their rejection or value their opinion, the alchemist has no leverage. If you are whole, complete, and secure within yourself, you become immune. You become the glitch in their entire system. They will try to hook you, and their hook will simply slide off your impermeable surface. They will look at you with genuine confusion because they cannot manipulate, they cannot control a person who has mastered themselves. This is the ultimate silent victory. Not the destruction of your enemy, but the act of outgrowing them entirely, leaving them behind in the shallow, murky water while you swim, powerfully and peacefully, into the deep. You now possess the lens. You see the three profiles: the mirror, the vortex, the alchemist. You hold the three silent tests: the success probe, the silence protocol, the boundary audit. You command the neutralization playbook, become the gray rock, maintain proximity for intelligence, wield the reflective shield. Use this knowledge not to become a cynical monster, but to fiercely protect the genuine goodness that remains within you. Guard your energy, your attention, your spirit. These are your kingdom's treasures, and reserve them for the very few people in this world who truly deserve them. The world is filled with skilled actors performing in elaborate costumes. Your task is no longer to be an audience member, swept up in their drama. Your task is to become the author, the director, and the sovereign of your own story. If this perspective has shifted something fundamental for you today, if it has replaced a blurry illusion with a sharper, clearer lens, then you understand that what we've discussed here is merely the surface, the public map. The deepest principles, the most powerful frameworks for human dynamics and strategic living cannot be fully explored on a public stage. The landscape itself discourages it. For those of you who are ready to go beyond the basics, to step into a deeper understanding, you know where that path begins. For now, if you found genuine value in this, if you want this channel to continue creating content that cuts through the noise, the single most powerful thing you can do is to like this video. That simple act tells the algorithm that you want more from Mind Verity. It helps protect this space for real, meaningful discourse. Thank you for your time and your attention.